Just a quick reminder for you that we've released a really cool game for mobile devices. Our game mirrors the life of our very own Garage 54. Hire a crew, purchase equipment for repairing cars, film videos, and grow your YouTube fanbase. Buy yourself cars and modify them in true Garage 54 fashion, and then enter them into a race. Basically, we've made an excellent simulation of our experiences for you to immerse yourself into. Go ahead and hit the link in the description, download our game, and see you on the racetrack. Hey there, fellas. Okay, so today we'll be experimenting with this here automobile, which has been subject to more than a few of our tests. You might recall how recently we made it articulate. The gearbox is good in this thing, so is the engine, and our intention is to put the car to rest. Someone suggested this for an idea. Find some kind of acid, drop the motor oil, and pour that into the engine instead. We actually do have some acid. Here it is. We've got it right over here. We'll start by firing it up to make sure that it works okay. Then we drain the oil and replace it with some of this stuff. We then start the car and find out how it fares. Will there be any type of reaction occurring? I'm no chemist, so I don't know. In theory, it might remove any of the residual oil left in there, and so on and so forth. Perhaps it'll begin to eat through something. I really don't know. Let's go ahead and give this a try. What happens if you fill your motor with acid? Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Alright, we've dropped the oil. Now we attempt to fire up the engine. We've placed a few deep dish sort of rubber mats underneath, just in case. If something happens to spill out. Okay, everything is looking good. The engine is fully functional. Now make sure you always follow any safety procedures, no matter what you do. We're dealing with some heavy-duty stuff here, not something to joke around with. So I've taken this here cap and put a bit of oil inside, from this very engine. And here we have a bit of acid. I'd like to check and see if we get any sort of reaction. We might not see anything, period. Nothing really seems to be happening. I see a bit of steam, but nothing spectacular. The oil does seem to have gotten thicker. Or am I imagining things? Looks like I am, yeah. It's no different to adding water to motor oil. But that's good. It's not a bad thing. I can't see anything through with this visor. And immediately something is going down. Okay, we've poured a bit of acid in. Everything is looking good. To be on the safe side, we'll remove the breather tube. After that, we'll fire up the car and observe to see whether this Lada motor will amaze us yet again. Curious to find out. Alright, let's do this. I can hear it squealing. So here's the situation. I guess you can call this a record of sorts. The number of times we tried to kill a Lada engine, and not once have we been able to do so during the very first attempt. Oh wait, there was actually that one time, remember? When we poured some lava into the motor. That was an immediate death sentence, which makes this the second time. Whoever wrote that comment, how did you guess? It took no more than 30 seconds to end this motor. It squeals and smokes, coughs, and doesn't even come close to starting. And it appears that the remaining oil was completely washed out. Okay, this is what we need to do. We'll let it sit until tomorrow, allow the acid to finish doing its thing. I don't know what exactly will happen, but we'll try firing it up once more, and if that doesn't work, we'll carefully remove the valve cover and have a look to see if anything looks different in there. Next day coming at you right now. That night just flew right by, didn't it? So we came to have a look the next day. We opened the cover, the oil filler cap. Then I had a look inside to see that nothing really changed in there. Nothing melted away. It's all good. The mats are dry, which is pretty nice. Right. What do you think? Could anything have happened? I also don't think so. It appears that the oil was the only thing affected. And that's pretty much it. It ain't steaming. True, it ain't. It's already done its thing. Okay, go for it. Slava, step back. Did the battery die? Maybe it's stuck? Yeah, let's try... What's with the wet spark plugs? It's as if they're covered in water. Exactly the thing I was talking about. Looks like the oil film was washed away, not a trace left, and that's why it ain't starting. And one more. Also the ignition switch. When you twist it all the way, you hear it clicking. Then you dial it back a bit and hello, that's just the switch. Yeah, that's the switch itself.
One minute, 37 seconds later.
Now it's seized up. Oh, then again, no. It's not feeling good. I'm pretty sure it spun some bearings. Alright, fellas, we were able to fire it up this morning. We did need to remove the spark plugs, dry them out a little bit, since they were a tad wet. We squirted some oil into the cylinders to get a film going. The car did start after that, though not for too long. Now it's once again immobilized and it won't fire up anymore. I suggest we try removing the valve cover to see what's happening underneath. Did anything happen in there that could actually harm the internals? If that's not enough, we'll go ahead and try removing something else, like the cylinder head, or some other part, I don't know. Alright, commencing engine teardown. You'd think that nothing went wrong in there. Holy cow. Holy cow. From the looks of it, it's as if the oil went sour or something. Look at these tappets. Their coloration... It's as if they've rusted out. There's your reason for the engine not rotating. Everything is oxidized. Yeah, in a peculiar fashion, I might add. As if it rusted out. Ain't that something? It removed the film and effectively buffed out the internals. I see the same picture as you. Alright, check this out. We've taken the engine apart. Let me start by showing you the cylinder head. On one side, specifically the upper part where the camshaft is located, well, you saw that even the tappets on the valves are all covered in... It isn't even rust per se. It's something of a pronounced orange color. The exact color of rust. The camshaft is also bearing that exact same orange hue. So yeah, there's that, and then there's the fact that all of the components basically got some sandpaper treatment. There was a gigantic increase in friction, resulting in the rotating assembly barely being able to move. Meanwhile, on the other side, where we have the combustion chamber, see what happened on this end? I highly doubt that the engine was in this condition prior to the experiment. In terms of operation, well, suffice to say, this was a decent engine in that regard. But I don't see a hint of any soot. And it's the same exact story with the pistons. See how clean they are? There had to be carbon buildup on them, but it has been washed off, as has any trace of motor oil. The cylinder walls, I see a... I don't even know what to call it. Some sort of residue? When you wipe it off with your finger, you can hear it squeaking. Any and all grease has been removed. There's not even a hint of oil left. As a result, I tug the belt, and it just isn't moving. Even the tiniest bit. The engine's not gonna budge if you pull it by the belt. Though in this sort of state, it should be rotating with no problems whatsoever. Now, what if I take a screwdriver and try to turn it over? By the flywheel. Well, yeah, it is rotating, but it takes a lot of effort. Like, you have to exert a ton of force. It's difficult enough when you're using a screwdriver. Can you imagine what that poor little starter motor was going through? I mean, I'm having trouble with this. It's all in good fun. Anyway, so here's the situation. It seems like this is the first time an engine has ever died so quickly on our watch. To silence a Lada motor with such ease, that is truly an extraordinary occurrence. I like some of the crazy ideas you guys share with us. Yeah, it didn't take much to put this engine to rest. I'd say we're looking at a 107% success rate. Do not pour this stuff into your motor. Make sure no electrolyte ever makes it inside your engine, or any other asset for that matter. Okay then. We did well here. We've put the engine to sleep. That acid works wonders. It doesn't take well to motor oil. And that's all I have for you fellas. Watch us, subscribe, send in your comments and suggestions, give us a big thumbs up. Alright, catch you later.